Graduation is a time for celebration, and the Lloydminster Public School Division was proud to send off another group of students into the world. 271 students from Lloyd Comp crossed the stage to receive their high school diplomas. The division is already looking to next year and say there have been budget cuts, but they don't expect it to affect the students.
We will have about 2% less resources than we had last year, which doesn't sound like a large number, but it has implications. But in light of all of that, we're innovating with some new programming.
The decrease in funding has also caused the division to do some reorganizing, resulting in less staff, but plans are still moving forward in regards to the unique programming.
A CREEP program and some of our First Nations students, and we're really excited about that work. And going into next year, we're looking at an Eco 9 program at ES Laird. We're looking at reshaping the Hockey Academy. We're offering a junior kindergarten program.
Students are back in classes on September 5th. And typically, the valedictorian address is done by a student with the highest academic achievements, but the LCHS class of 2017 selected their star pupil for other reasons. Timothy Onofrichuk was selected by his peers through a class vote.
I think probably interactions from the past 3 years, and maybe what it means to be a Baron, having integrity.
The grade 12 student spoke highly of his classmates and the journey through high school together.
The thing that stands out the most is maybe the graduation right now, just being in it, being surrounded by everybody having a common goal, and having achieved something together.
He hopes that his valedictorian address to the class will help spread a message of acceptance for everyone and provide hope for the future. Onofrichuk plans to attend the U of S in the fall for a degree in biomedical sciences and hopes to pursue pediatric medicine. Well, since the start of summer, the sand courts at Bud Miller Park are full of people trying their hand at beach volleyball. Not only is it a fun outdoor activity, but as Josh Ryan explains in this week's Healthy Living, it's the perfect off-season training for the indoor game.
Playing beach volleyball isn't officially part of the Lakeland Rustlers off-season program, but it gets a high recommendation from the coaching staff.
Rallies can be extended longer, and then obviously you're having to cover more ground with just two guys, so it's great endurance for them.
Women's team starter Chelsea Steinley can attest to the effect playing beach has had on her game, even though she's only been able to hit the sand for about a month.
Last week when we played one night beach and then we were indoor the next night, it was like, oh my gosh, I move so fast now. And balls you didn't think you were going to get, because in beach you probably wouldn't have. All of a sudden you were like, oh yeah, I could get that one.
In addition to the agility, balance, and coordination benefits, beach also helps to strengthen and build muscle with more exertion required than on a gym floor.
Definitely have to expend more energy to get off the ground on the beach surface than you do on the floor. So it's going to increase your vertical. It's going to help with your muscle development.
You have to really give your all to get out of the sand.
Upper body muscles are also developed, but without the same wear and tear from high volume in the indoor game.
A lot more roll shots, deep corner shots, where you're not really absolutely taking a tug every single time. Where on the indoor surface, it's a little bit more like that because it's such a powerful game.
And what makes beach volleyball accessible to people of various fitness and skill levels is that the sand reduces the impact on your joints, making it much easier when you're landing and falling.
You can kind of throw your body around without the bruises on the hips and everything from diving, so defensively I really like digging in beach.
And when you're landing, it's not going to hurt as much in the sand. And then it is kind of that finesse game where you don't have to be able to jump above the height of the net and to kill the ball. You can find ways to score.
Josh Ryan, Newcap News.
Meanwhile, Lloydminster is preparing to celebrate. The city has a day full of free activities to keep people engaged. Brian Lentz has more on what people can expect to see at Bud Miller this weekend.
It's a day the city has been preparing for since festivities wrapped up 1 year ago, lining up live performers, local food, and family activities. Taking off with a flyby from the Royal Canadian Air Force at 11:30, the opening ceremonies begin at 1 p.m.
Compared to previous Canada Days, we do have one huge attraction coming out this year. It is an aerial acrobatics show. It's going to be on at 2 and 5 p.m. in the main stage parking lot. Our adventure zone, which is all along the side of the lake, is also completely revamped. So we have all brand new attractions in there for the older kids.
With a farmer's market in the north parking lot and entertainment in the south all afternoon, visitors will not be able to leave their vehicles at Bud Miller Park.
You can leave your vehicle at Service Sports Center for as long as you like. The shuttle service runs from 11:30 to 7:30. We also have park and walk locations that we've added to our maps this year. So schools that are a little bit closer, St. Thomas, St. Joe's, Rendell Park, and Bishop Lloyd.
Close to 15,000 people are expected to attend throughout the day, and the RCMP will be present to ensure everyone is enjoying the festivities responsibly.
Whenever we have events of a large nature, we always have plans in place. We always look ahead and see what some of the difficulties or the potentials would be. You'll see us around the park a lot, just out in the community, wishing everybody a great evening, great weekend.
With it being the 150th anniversary, we're really hoping that Lloyd and the surrounding area will come out, see what we have planned, and celebrate with us.
The celebration will conclude with fireworks at 11 p.m. For more information, visit the Canada Day 150 Lloydminster Facebook page or the city's website. Brian Lentz, Newcap News.
Not only do they have a cute factor that's off the charts, baby alpacas are also awesome to watch. In this week's Agriculture Report, Gerard Lampow meets a local producer who's enjoying the Andes native.
It's birthing season.
Cathy Merkley of TNC Farms is raising about 50 alpacas in the Hillmont area. Alpacas are valued for their fleece, which has no lanolin, making it hyperallergenic. This year she has 8 baby alpacas or crias.
As members of the camel family, they don't lick their babies dry. And because the alpacas have been raised for centuries by humans in very high altitudes in the Andes Mountains, they only give birth during daylight hours because it's very cold most nights in the mountains.
Alpacas don't have a heat cycle, so gestation is about 335 plus or minus 27 days. Females can give birth about a year after they have been bred. Merkley tries to have crias around May to June, so the babies will have enough time to get ready for winter. Their diet includes green grass and grain. The milk is high in protein and fat.
The crias can gain between a third and a full pound a day. So considering that their birth weight is between 16 and 20 pounds, that's packing a lot of nutrition into a little bit of milk.
The babies will get a shot of vitamin A, D, E, and selenium, and as well a first winter vaccine. Merkley says at TNC Farms they practice hand breeding.
So we bring the males into the females, and if she is receptive, she'll lay down and the male will breed her. If she's not receptive and isn't ready to be bred, then she simply spits at him. And then he knows that's not the one for him today.
Alpacas are all neck and legs, so the biggest challenge is to make sure they are up on their feet and enjoying their mother's milk in the first hour.
There's just not a better way to spend the evening than to watch the alpaca babies running around the pasture in the evening. It's too cute.
Gerard Lampow, Newcap News.
This is Newcap Sports.
There's little debate about how popular curling has become, and that's especially the case in the Midwest. Now, Lloydminster is going to cash in on that popularity when a momentous event comes to the border city this fall. Lance Phillips with more.
For this first women's final. From October 24th to 29th, some of the best curlers in the world will descend on Lloydminster to compete in curling's first major of the year at the Pinty's Grand Slam of Curling Masters. For curling fans, it represents an opportunity to see top-level curling with an edge due to a significant event that only occurs once every 4 years.
Because it's an Olympic year, I think the energy will be tense because this is everything they've been, gunning for the last 4 years. So, they play against these guys all the time, and because it's the best in the world, that this could be the gold medal game.
It's going to be a lot of people, a lot of energy, very serious. The players, they'll be a little bit more serious than I guess you'd normally see out of them, simply because they need to peak here. By the next slam, it's too late. This is where they have to find their stride, at the end of October.
But the event brings more than just curling. It also brings people and their money, something businesses in the border city can definitely get behind.
Luckily, Lloyd's a big curling area, but every town around has a curling club. So you've got just a mass amount of people to draw from. I think you will draw, though, out of Camrose and Red Deer, Calgary, Edmonton as well.
It's going to be incredible. We're going to have not just the curlers here and people taking it in as spectators. We're going to have sponsors involved. The community is going to get behind this. They've got a youth program that we've just talked about.
When we come to any of the smaller communities that are passionate about curling, one of our goals from a Grand Slam perspective is to ensure that we give back as much as we can to the community. That's why we, with the Junior Grand Slam program, the Future Rocks program, tried to build sport within Sportsnet. It's one of our goals.
And this may be one of the greatest parts of the event. Junior programs that give young people a chance to be up close and personal with athletes they admire. In turn, building the sport at a grassroots level.
We have great involvement here from both the Catholic and the public school divisions, as well as the Lloydminster Curling Club. And I think that this will just encourage more young people to get excited about curling and to start their curling journey.
Yes, the junior programs are super important along with the school programs, but that won't work unless they have the idols that they can emulate and try to become, to grow it as well. So you need both.
And Lloydminster will get both when potentially the next Olympic champions hit the ice in October. Lance Phillips, Newcap Sports, Lloydminster.
Liners U10 and U12 are the first phases of introduction to softball for many girls in the Midwest region. It's their first opportunity to swing a bat or be a part of a team, and as Lance Phillips shows us, the U12 program is putting kids in a great position as they continue their softball journey.
What a difference a season makes. The weekend provided the Lloydminster Liners U12B team its last chance to play in front of home fans. Coming off a silver medal at the GPLS Championships, the girls put on another strong performance. But the biggest takeaway was the reality that these girls care less about the score and more about the aspects of the game that have provided them the most benefit.
Meeting all the new people and making a lot of friends and just having fun on field.
I like the girls. They're really nice, and it's fun with all the energy we have in the dugout.
Well, I've enjoyed the cheers and all of the enthusiasm that we have.
It's clear from listening to the Liners dugout that enthusiasm abounds, something the coaching staff takes great pride in.
I think we've been careful to try and grow that culture on the team. We don't push that anybody has to be the best player on the team, but they need to be the best for their team.
With young players comes the knowledge that there's a lot to teach over the course of a season. But one area in particular really stood out as a part of the game the team found success in.
I think we've had really good progress. We started pretty ragtag, and we literally had girls who weren't swinging the bat.
Well, we all are swinging and we're all hitting really, really well, and we're working a lot. We're catching a lot of pop flies now, and we're doing really well as a team.
I really like our hitting and our defense. We get a lot of girls out and we get a lot of hits.
As one of the first levels of softball in Lloydminster, the U12 program is an important step in providing skills necessary to compete at higher levels.
I learned what position I'm the best at this year, and I got help and advice on it a lot.
They taught me of how to make contact a lot and catch the balls.
It's pretty satisfying, you know, in a word, because they've taken it on, you know, they've taken to heart what we've given them, and they're working hard together, and that makes for a nice combination.
A combination that isn't possible without great coaching. Lance Phillips, Newcap Sports, Lloydminster.